This immense vegetation is home to the Baka Pygmies and the Bantu tribes in the southeast of Cameroon. Since the dawn of time, these two people share this natural space, but most importantly, the benefits they enjoy. To help the Baka and the Bantu in the fight against poverty, the government of Cameroon, through the Forest Act of 1994, instituted community forestry, a system which facilitates the participation of the local communities in sustainable management and equitable access to natural resources, as well as their access to social and economic benefits. Today, there are 39 community forests in the southeastern part of Cameroon. Located on the peripheries of the Bombambek, Ki and Lobeke national parks, these forests cover an area of about 80,000 hectares and 39 villages made up of the Bantus and the Bakas. These communities benefit from the support of the Worldwide Fund for Nature, whose mission is to ensure the sustainable management of the community forest is being guaranteed and effectively contributes to the improvement of the living conditions of the populations. More than 75 community forest initiatives have emerged with the support of the WWF this last 15 years.
Les forêts communautaires sont des portions de forêts.
Community forests are portions of forests not exceeding 5,000 hectares, which are attributed in the standing area. Through community forestry, the law has allowed close-by populations to participate in the sustainable management of forests. WWF encourages this participation. Through this, communities can manage forests sustainably and draw funds for local development in order to improve their living conditions. Moreover, exploitation of the community forest creates jobs that decreases the pressure on forest and wildlife resources. In 2005, WWF supported us with the objective to get the operating license of the community forest. The community forest in our village has reduced unemployment, poaching, and promoted the practice of agriculture by young people. WWF helped us a lot in obtaining the operating license of our community forest. Since 2008, the case was rejected by the department, but WWF took over until its completion in 2013. If WWF didn't exist, we wouldn't be at this level. We had no means to have a community forest. WWF supported us financially in obtaining the operating license of this community forest we manage today.
Thanks to the income generated by the forest, classrooms and houses for teachers are being built and didactic materials distributed to students in the area. One of the important benefits of the community forest to the Baka children in the southeast of Cameroon is education. We are at the Yenga village, some 250 kilometers from Yokaduma, the divisional headquarters of Bomba and Goko division. It is home to a bilingual secondary school. Tomba and Salo are two Baka students in Form 1 whose education is supported by the community forest. The two teenage girls already dream of a better future for themselves and their community.
I am a student in Form 1 at the bilingual secondary school Yenga. I don't have a problem with my classmates. I want to become a nurse to help my village. I'm going to school to learn to read and write. I want to become a teacher.
It is the end of the break time at the bilingual secondary school Yenga. Like the rest of their classmates, Tomba and Salo return to their classrooms, having in mind that school is a necessity for the Baka community.
Nous avons des élèves Baka.
We have some Baka students here. They are taken care of by the community forest. They are very open children. When you approach them and you show them that you want to be with them, you learn from them and they learn from you. In 2015, our community forest generated 2,250,000 francs CFA, which enabled us to realize many projects, namely fees of children who presented the entrance examination into Form 5 and First School Living Certificate, sew the uniforms for the students of the college. School supplies such as notebooks, pens, books were distributed to students.
Saint Ancien, a village populated by the Baka and the Bantu, is situated between Yokaduma and the Goila subdivision. Here, the public school was built thanks to the community forest. The Baka children, who constitute 66% of the student population, are amongst the smart ones like the little Alden Komo, top of class 5.
I am a student in class 5 of Son Ancien Public School. My teacher is called Mr. Moiseau Lambert. They bought me books, chalks, and pens.
Je veux qu'on me donne le nom du fruit que j'ai dessiné au tableau. Oui. C'est un ananas. Un ananas. Un bravo pour elle.
Le peuple Baka.
When I arrived here, the Baka people did not participate in the activities. But for some time, the community forest gave them textbooks and all started participating in classroom activities. The building which housed me is the work of the community forest, even the signboard which is outside.
2014, on a conçu.
In 2014, we built huts for the teachers, recruited temporary teachers. In 2015, we also built 2 classrooms for the kindergarten, bought solar supplies and sewed uniforms for the students that you see behind me.
Another challenge of the people who live in the forest communities is to ensure the health of the inhabitants. It is a must in these far-off areas where a well-structured health center is not easy to find. We are here in a village called Gribe, where a health center was built and equipped with the Bogrissom Community Forest in partnership with the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon. Here, no need to travel tens of kilometers for basic health care.
Les populations d'ici avaient trop de la peine à arriver.
Here, people had difficulties to get to the hospital.
La communauté Bogrissom,
The Bogrissom Community Forest has built a health center, and Presbyterian Church in Cameroon provided the staff.
le personnel.
It is a community forest which is involved in development.
Sa communauté. Je suis dans la pharmacie, vous voyez.
I am in the pharmacy. You see all these drugs, and it is the government that supplies us.
Approvisionne en médicaments.
We use drugs for the ailments of malaria, medicines for worms, because In the area, everybody has intestinal worms. There is also the cough medicine.
Yenga Doucement is only populated by the Baka people. Here, as in many other villages, the revenues of the community forest helped set up a health fund to take care of patients.
In terms of health, some members of the community were taken care of surgery for hernia cases. We took over some cases to Mulundu and Salapumbe hospitals. We also found small projects of the members of the community. We take care of members who are ill in the case of the Baka, and we operate hernias.
The involvement of the community forest in the improvement of the living conditions of the Baka and the Bantu of the southeast of Cameroon is in line with the level of housing. Today, the money generated by the exploitation of the forest helps in the buying of corrugated sheets, nails, and the wood from the forest is used for construction. Bit by bit, the huts and mud houses with the thatched roofs made way for planks and corrugated metal houses. In Jadom, a village in Goela, for example, the community forest was able to build 20 houses of this type.
We have plans to roof all the houses in Jadom and Malechen. We also plan to build an infirmary.
Traditional authority was strengthened by improving housing in Saint Ancien and Malaya Ancien villages. The church and certain houses have been rebuilt, community halls built, and the chief's palace renovated.
The Bogrisum Community Forest built a healthcare center at Gribe that helps us all. There are also table benches for public school of Gribe. And very often, when a member is sick, the delegate unlocks money for his care. The community forest helps me a lot. Thanks to her, I have my house. This association helps a lot. Thanks to it, the village has changed a lot. We have schools, a church, a chiefdom, and a house for teachers. At the habitat level, members collect wood in the forest to build their huts, and the association provided sheets and tips to dress up the house. Concerning the Baka people, metal sheets and nails are on their way.
One of the major challenges of the government of Cameroon, with the support of the NGOs such as WWF, is to ensure proper management of community forests, the empowerment of the Baka and the Bantu women.
Throughout the process of the community forest, we make sure the entire community participates, including women and indigenous Baka. Women deal particularly in non-wood forest products.
Because of the path created through the exploitation of the community forest, wild animals stay away and movement of women who collect non-wood forest products is guaranteed. Once out of the forest, products are fermented, dried, rid of their hulls, and ready for commercialization.
All non-wood forest products that come out of the forest belong to women. We have the ginseng, wild mango, the meganye, the forsyths, the balaka.
There is no doubt the community forest has transformed the existence of the local people, most especially women in these remote areas.
Non-timber forest products help me to send the children to school, to do other activities such as petit trade. This money allows us to solve small problems in our homes, equip our homes, take care of our children, and especially send them to school. The community forest has helped us a lot. It helped me to build my house.
Timber exploitation provides jobs for young people. We are in a lodging site in the district of Goyla, where a portable sawmill with tilting blades has replaced the chainsaw. Its arrival has improved the quality and increased the production of wood and therefore income for the community forests.
We saw the wood to be exported and local wood. Concerning local woods, we have the slats, the rafters, and the weights belong to the community. Wood to be exported is evacuated. Operators want clean wood that can sell easily in the market at a good price compared to archaic wood sawed with a chainsaw. This is very modern. In a day, I saw 50 meters cube of wood, about 100,000 francs CFA.
Once sawn, the beams, planks, battens, and rafters are transported out of the lodging site by individuals who engage in a back and forth journey through the forest and the village, while a tractor trailer is stationed ready to take the wood to the market.
The species of wood we saw cost 1,200 francs CFA. The piece to be evacuated to the village. I was able to make achievements with what I make. With this work, I pay my rent. I bought my bed, mattress, my TV. A month, I can have 300,000 francs CFA.
The community forest gives work to our husbands who can now take care of us and meet the needs of our family.
The arrival of the truck in the village is synonymous to money and thus always worth celebrating. With the bulk of their income from its operations, the forest is first and foremost seen as a protector for the communities, a kind of Mexican sombrero. Community forests in the southeast Cameroon were attributed to the Baka and the Bantu peoples who have a duty to ensure they are sustainably exploited. One of the missions of the WWF is to educate people, while the government of Cameroon implements regulations to ensure the regeneration of the forest. By way of illustration, the law states that portions of the forest, not more than 200 hectares, can be exploited on a rotatory basis each year and should be left for 25 years in order to allow the species to regenerate. Awareness is real in the communities, nurseries are created, and reforestation is effective.
Il faudrait aussi planter les arbres parce qu'au fur et à mesure qu'on a...
We need to plant trees to replace those we cut down. We planted about 500 trees in our community. Moabi, white mango, ginseng, sapeli.
On a vu un technicien.
We have recruited a technician that will make us nurseries for reforestation in collaboration with our Baka brothers because they are familiar with species.
WWF relies on NGOs so as to carry out some of its field missions, such as the CIFED, which plays the role of accompanying the communities in the process of community forest management.
Nous avons des formations thématiques que nous donnons à des entités.
We provide thematic training to associations that manage community forests. We also train them in the administrative and financial management, to the techniques of conflict management, to the holding of the documents. With regard to forestry, we train them on inventories and technical measures of wood, on the handling of the compass and GPS. Finally, we teach them how to value all what comes out of the forest.
The Cameroonian government plays a major role in the management of the community forest, which is the fruit of an agreement with the village communities. For this purpose, the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife remains undoubtedly present in all the processes of acquisition and exploitation of the community forest.
Ce que nous faisons dans le cadre du processus de forêt.
We support communities. We facilitate the process of inventory, materialization, daily monitoring of activities on the ground. In practice, we early send teams to the field to evaluate the limits of the forest to be exploited. We are conducting inventories that allow the department to issue an annual operating certificate that gives wood quotas to be picked.
Through financial and technical support, WWF is assisting local communities implement a payment for environmental services project. One of the objectives of this project is to encourage the Baka to create their own cocoa farms in order to make them financially autonomous.
Le projet PES aussi est présent et
the PSC project is also present and WWF supports. Some community forests have been identified in the massive forest area of Ngoila Mintom, and a zoning has been done related to conservation, and communities continue to go normally about their field work. Now, there are activities of accompaniment that are here to put at the disposal of the communities species and seeds of large production capacities in very short periods of time. WWF RED project of Ngoila Mintom has made available good quality cocoa, plum trees, and other plants in the communities.
It
is WWF who advised me to grow cocoa. They told me to create my own plantation to avoid getting exploited by the Bantus.
The objective of the WWF is to make farmers become experts in natural resource management, an activity that requires substantial resources, field presence, and continuous work with the communities. According to a field report conducted in 2015 by the Worldwide Fund for Nature and the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife, the contribution of community forestry to the socio-economic development of people around the Bombambek, Key and Lobeke national parks and the conservation of natural resources is still facing many challenges.
Tant que les forêts communautaires que nous accompagnons ne sont pas dotées de cette machine,
as long as the community forests do not have mobile saws to produce in quantity and quality to keep up with the competition, we will have the legal papers without much to enjoy. Congo is our potential market, yet wood sawed with a chainsaw is prohibited there because it is considered illegal. Even the local market is increasingly demanding in quality. We need the mobile saw to produce in quality and quantity because when the partner comes with his mobile saw, we lose or we don't gain much. We have difficulties to access the far-off community forest so as to exploit the species. We reach out to WWF to open the tracks. In the future, we want the community forest to construct another building that meets the standards. We also need a microscope. We wish that the communities should be provided with the means that would allow them to meet different development requirements, ways to strengthen their capacity and accompany them towards the improvement of their living conditions. To do this, the administration and conservation partners need to be present at their site. We want to transform planters and farmers into natural resource managers.
In future, the sun will rise on the national parks of Bombambek, Key, and Lobeke with the hope of a better life for the Baka and Bantu communities in the southeast of Cameroon.